All right, so as the trading week has come to an end, I think one of the best things you can and should be doing is, of course, looking back at your recent week and your trades and how you went overall, and then calculating how many R multiples you are up or down. So let's say you're down 3 R for the week. Then what you can do is take that number and then go ahead and backtest the whole week where if you were to only take A plus setups, what result would you get? And let's say you go through the whole last week in backtesting on whatever assets, whether that's gold, NQ, and maybe you end up with a result that would have been plus 10R. So that's a 13R gap that you're missing out on by simply not following your process and not executing to the best of your ability. And I think it's a really helpful tool in highlighting the weaknesses in your process, maybe the emotions that get involved when you trade. And it really highlights the gap, like the profit gap that you're missing out on by not following your process. So that's what I'm going to do in this video. I'm just going to backtest the whole previous week on both gold and NQ. Then I will tally up the results and compare that with how I actually went this week and see what the difference is and see what my less than ideal execution is costing me. I think you should do this as well, but if you are too lazy to backtest yourself, then, and if you have the same criteria for A plus trades as me, then you can just take whatever results I get and compare it to what you got at the end of the week. So it might be a long video, but oh well, it's a long backtest video. It is what it is. Okay. Plus, you get to see me backtest, so this might help you spot some A plus setups. Okay, let's see. It might be something in gold. Yeah, so there was a setup, but it's going into a bunch of bearish FEGs, so I wouldn't take that. Does end up winning, but I wouldn't take it. Okay, London, was there anything? No, bearish FEGs again. Even here. Asia, nothing there. Okay, now on to Thursday. Looks like there is a sys day at 10 a.m. right there. Short. Right about there. Would I take this? Would I call this A plus? I don't like how overextended we are past the POIs, so I would not consider that A plus. A minus? Yeah, I get stopped out. Let's have a look here. This looks decent. Okay, changes their delivery, not too far overextended. Targeting tour. Yeah, I would take this. Looks like it goes break even, so no trade there. So you would get to 1R in profits, which is right about there, and then go break even. So no harm, no foul. So still 0 for 0 on gold. Let's see, London, do we have anything? No. No. Maybe a short here. There is a cyst there right there. Indicator's not showing it, but it is there. Oh yeah, I covered this one in yesterday's video. Yes, this is A+, and I would take this one, but I believe it goes to break even and then stops you out. Yeah. Sorry, it goes to 1R and then stops you out at break even. Okay, let's see. Asia. Looks like there's a bullish POI here. Power's already used early on, so that's done. Okay, New York. This is news release. I wouldn't be touching this anyways. Okay, let's see. Asia on Tuesday. Tap into FEGs and POI. No IFEG. No change in state. Bang, there's your change in state. So you could get in there. I don't love how we have to target empty space, but I would still take that. And looks like you get out break even, yeah. So still nothing, still nothing. Okay, let's have a look here. Bearish FEGs, I don't love it. Yeah, I wouldn't take that. Maybe I would. It's A-. The only thing stopping it is the bearish FEGs. But yeah, I don't love how my stop has to go so far down. Not the cleanest. I don't love that. Alright, moving on. New York, 8 AM, is there a setup? IFEG. Higher time frame FEGs are aligned. Not too overextended. Middle of the POI. I like this. I would take this. Give me that. Stopped out. Okay, so we're 0 for 1 right now. Let me just mark that down. Okay, so far we are -1R. Anything else? No. Asia, anything? No. Looks like there may have been a short towards the end of the hour, but I don't like how Asia session's coming to a close by the time you get this, so I do not love this. Yeah. Alright, what else we got? Now we're on to Monday already. New York session? Ooh, possibly something here. I think this was a nice setup from what I recall. Bullish point of interest to work with. Gets engaged. Followed by a change in state of delivery. And higher time frame FEGs are aligned. Perfect. Targeting 2R. Bang. There you go. That's plus 2R. Let me mark that off. Very nice. Alright, what else? London session. Potential short. Let's have a look here. Okay, so there's a change in state here. Put your stop up there, target 2R. I don't mind how there's a bunch of bullish FEGs because by the time we hit one, we can pretty much go break even. So it's not the worst. Would I take this? No, I wouldn't take this. Just for the fact that even though there's a bit of distance until we reach the FEGs, we are quite overextended past the POIs. And at this point, it just looks like a bullish candle. Like, it doesn't seem to be reversing at all. So, I do not love it. Yeah. Very quiet week for gold. Very, very quiet. Nothing there. POI never got engaged until much later. That was it. Wow, that was quick. Okay, so that was gold. So gold went 1 win, 1 loss, plus 1R. Let's do NQ. Okay, where's New York? Here. Let's go. This was an hour after CPI news release. I remember this. Alright, so this was during NQ on Friday. So we have an IFVG confirmed. By the time it's confirmed, we're not too far away from the POI, so I don't mind that. I don't love how the stop loss will have to be so far down. But it is what it is. It's New York Open. It's very volatile. So you can target 2R. There are a bunch of gaps, but you can go break even pretty early. I don't mind this, actually. Would I take this? Yeah, I'll take this. This looks good. Okay, yeah, that hits TP. Very nice. So what's that? Plus 2R. Okay, moving on. Couple in New York. Oh, sorry, London. Okay, POI at 3 a.m. Gets engaged. We have some higher time frame FEGs. We have a SysD and IFEG here. So I quite like this actually. The IFEG is quite strong. You can put your stop there. There are some FEGs, but you can pretty much take profit by the time you get there. Do I like this? I can't see any reason to not like it. Actually. Looks like we already took the draw on liquidity early on during the POI. As you can see, we had a little dip down into the POI and then we bounced off. So I don't love this because of that. So I would not take this. Even though I believe this ends up winning. Yeah. I cannot mark that off. Unfortunately. The next hour, there is another trade, but the SysD is all the way up there. I don't love how far down you have to put your stop. I don't love that. It's way too wide. Alright, moving on. Asia. Looks like there's a... Oh yeah. That was a nice short here. POI gets engaged, followed by a very strong V-shaped reversal IFEG. You can put your stop just there. Target 2R. Any problems with this? Some green FEGs, but I feel like there's more reds. And by the time you get down here, you can go break even. So it's pretty safe. I'll take that. Yeah, see, there was a bit of resistance and you could have went break even and you end up going TP before break even anyways. So nice. Okay, that's another +2. Alright, what else we got? New York session, 10 a.m. Let's have a look. bunch of POIs to work with. No high time frame FEGs engaged yet. There, we get a tap into one. It's just super choppy. At this point, if I saw this, I'm just not even looking at the trade anymore. It's so choppy. We want to see clean moves up and down, not just like barcodes. So yeah, none of that. The hour before, is there something here? No, no entry model, just chop. Okay, London, was there anything? PY engaged, higher time frame FEGs engaged. No SysD yet. No IFEG, there is your change in state. Bang, bang, bang. Do I like this? I don't mind it, but I don't love how close we are to the bearish FEG. I would not take this. And looks like you go break even anyways, so no trade there. Because if you don't know, when it reaches 1R, I move my stop to break even. So right about there, you go break even, and then you'll hit your break even there. Okay, Asia, nothing there. Let's have a look here. POI gets engaged. Higher time frame FEG is engaged. We get a change in state of delivery right here. There is a bearish FEG, but I don't mind it. It's quite a distance away. Looks like you never get tagged in though. I think I was watching this one actually, yeah. Price never came back to the SysD. I didn't want to chase it here, so I count that as a no trade. Even though the model was successful. Nothing here. New York, Wednesday. What's going on here? SysD. Bullish FEGs, bullish POIs. I'd take that. I don't see anything wrong with that. And you get stopped out. Okay, -1. That's all right. You win some, you lose some. On to the next one. Let's see. London session. What do we have here? Potential short. Oh, I think I took this one actually. Yeah. So it taps into a 5-minute FEG. We've got a SysD here. I think I marked it in right on the SysD confirmation. Targeting to got profit in 2 minutes essentially. Sure, there are some green FEGs, but I feel like for me, just from visually looking at that, it doesn't really look like they overpower the red ones. So I'm happy to take that. So that's +2. What about here? Bearish point of interest to work with. Let's see. No higher time frame FEGs tapped yet. Nothing yet. Yeah, no trade. All right, what else we got? Tuesday, nothing there, nothing there. New York. Just chop. London, no POIs at all. Asia, no POIs at all. Yeah, I remember it was a very quiet week, especially at the start. Monday, some bullish POIs, but no entries ever. Actually, there might be some extended POIs. Let's have a look. Okay, so bullish points of interest. Let's see, this one gets engaged finally. We tap into some high time frame FVGs. Let's see what happens now. Siste, okay. Would I take this? I think I would, even though there are some bearish. There's a bit of distance, but stopped out. Of course, it's right before New York opened. I still have to count that as a loss though, so -1 for me. Okay, London. Looks like there is a bearish point of interest. Let's see what happens here. So much green. Yeah, I don't love this. I would not take a short here. And that's it. That was it for the week. Okay, so that ends up being 1, 2, 3, 4 wins, 3 losses for a total of 5R. Okay, and I actually finished my week down 2R. So that's a difference of +5R, backtesting properly, and -2R in my actual live trades. So that's a 7R difference. That is my profit gap. That is what I'm leaving on the table by not following my plans, following my rules, and sticking to executing the best trades that I can. So I encourage you to do this yourself. If you can't be fucked doing the whole backtest like I just did, then and you have similar rules to me as what you consider an A+ trade, then just take the +5R for the week as the baseline, like I did, and compare that with your week. Did you go better or worse than +5R this week? Hopefully you got close or even better, but if not, then try to look at your journal, figure out where you fucked up, how you can improve, how you can make the next week better. I think my main lesson from this is that, yes, this past week was very slow. Yes, you may only make 5R, and that's like, you might get 1 or 2 trades a day. But even when you get to the end of the week and you look at it, +5R is really fucking good compared to -2R. Like, you'll take that any week. So yeah, main lesson is be patient, just wait for the good setups, don't force anything. The profits will come in time if you focus on the process. Yeah, hope you learned something from this weekly exercise. I encourage you to do it yourself.